Hi, I'm Elizabeth Hansen, and my senior project is called Foster Love. A little bit about me is my dad is Paul, my mom is Patty, and my older brother is Colin. My future plans are to go to SDSU for early childhood and elementary education. The activities I was involved in were volleyball, dance, NHS, youth group, 4-H, FFA, and a honor roll. My advisor was Mrs. Jennifer Becker. She's the success coordinator and athletic director at Parker High School. Her husband is Cameron, and her two kids are Paige and Vaughn. She proofread my research paper for me. For the research paper, my thesis was the number of children who end up in foster care is rapidly increasing, and the services that the foster care system provides to these children are invaluable. The main points I talked about was what is foster care, how do you get in foster care, what happens in foster care, what effects does being in foster care have on children, and how does one transition out of foster care. My mentor was Holly Christensen. She is a foster mom that volunteers at the foster closet called the East River Foster Parent Network. That network is run 100% by volunteers and funded by donations from the community. It is located in Sioux Falls. Holly volunteers there 2 days every week. She is a foster parent, and Holly helped me brainstorm and set up my senior project. For my project overview, my original plan was to create care bags for foster kids so when they would get put into foster care, they could have a bag of belongings and stuff to bring with them. So we looked online and found East River Foster Parent Network on Facebook. So every year, a foster family only gets $100 to buy clothes for their foster child. The foster closet's mission is to help those families with the extra costs of living. Anyone with foster kids can go there to get free items like clothes, shoes, school supplies, toys, beds, cribs, furniture, or anything the family might need to house a foster child. And then a little bit more with that was I began communicating with Holly Christensen. I agreed to come into the foster closet and volunteer on Fridays, which allowed me to see what they do there. Their greatest need was a teen clothing drive. So that's when we kind of switched our idea and put together a drive instead of the foster bags. We decided not to focus just on teens for the drive, but all ages, because we didn't want to limit the donations coming in. The project process. The first step was to find an organization to partner with. I volunteered at the foster closet and organized clothing there. The second step was to talk to Holly to plan a drive. We had to figure out what their greatest need was, and that was the item drive and not the bags. The third step was to plan a drive to gather items. So we had to figure out what items they need, if we should do an Amazon wish list or a donation box, and we didn't know who we should ask for the donations. So the fourth step was when should we do it? We had to find a date that worked, and since it was at the school, we had to make sure there was no other drives happening. The fifth step was how do I spread the word about my project? We put up posters around the school and around businesses in town. We posted it on Facebook and had people share the word, and we put it in the school announcements. That picture is the poster we put up on Facebook, in school, and around town. Step 6 was collecting items. April 5th through April 9th, I had a tote in the school office for donations. And then we also picked up some donations from friends' houses who couldn't bring them into Parker. We got some cash donations, so with that money, we went shopping and bought items for the drive rather than just giving cash. And then the final step was taking donations into the foster closet, and we dropped off a car full of donations. This slide is showing some of the donations that we got. And then these are some more. But on this slide, you can see that we got some gift cards, some journals, shampoo, and we also got a large range of sizes from baby clothes to adult clothes. This was the final product of all the bags we brought in. So, some problems encountered was finding a project. I wasn't really sure what project I wanted to do at the beginning, so I had to figure that out. Meeting with the foster closet, it was difficult with different schedules on when me and Holly could go into the foster closet and meet. I was gonna try to set up an Amazon wish list in the beginning because we thought it would be easier to get items from people like out of town, but that never happened. And then procrastination because I put off the project to the very end. This picture on the slide is kind of showing how they organize some of the clothes at the foster closet. Some of the learning stretches I had was contacting the foster closet. I had to email, Zoom, text, and talk in person with Holly, which was difficult at some times. And then getting the word out there. So I had to go around town to businesses, put up posters, and I had to post on Facebook. And then I had to ask for donations, which it was difficult and uncomfortable asking for help. My thank yous go out to everyone who donated because it would be very difficult to have a drive with no donations. Patty Hansen, my mom, for helping me with all my questions along the way and helping me get started. Josie Geis for helping me put up posters around the school and around town, and she also helped me pick up some of the donations. Holly Christensen for being there and giving me a place to donate everything. Mrs. Sarah Barnhart for helping me with everything that goes into my senior portfolio. And Mrs. Jennifer Becker for proofreading my paper. Thank you for listening.